Well, here it is about 5 o'clock. It's time to wake up and get the day started. Not super motivated today, but we got a lot of work to do, so let's get to it. Alright, got the dishes done. Got the ice in my gallon jug. And we're going to fill it up with water. And then let's get headed outside. Didn't do too bad for getting the dishes and laundry done. We'll head outside. I wanted to be done by 6 o'clock, and 5:30 will work just fine. Alright guys, I know you can't see, it's still kind of dark out here. Throw in a few things here and get this going. I'll see if I can't edit this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Throw in my water jug and grab my chainsaw. Chainsaw in. Alright. Next trip back over here. Got chainsaw, water jug, gas, oil, and I got lawnmower keys. Alright, and lawnmower keys check. Got a lot of water hose out. This is our garden. I'll give you guys another tour of that here pretty quick. For now, we're headed out here. I have a bunch of walnut tops that I had sold the logs off of and make a little bit of extra money here on the homestead. So now we gotta get cutting those up. You guys can hear me very well. If not, I'll do a voiceover. Unhook this. Really, I should have just went ahead and hooked up the chipper shredder first. Alright, that's unhooked. We're going to turn around, go grab the chipper shredder. Be right back. I've gotten the chipper shredder, lawnmower's ready. Chainsaw, gas, oil. I want to show you, talk a little bit about this thing real quick, and then we'll get headed. The bag was very, very tight. I'm sure it will go down after several uses. The strings here was a little bit hard to get tightened up on here. I'll do a full review on this in a later video. It'll just be a little bit before I'm able to get that one done. I want to use it a little bit more. So far, all we've chipped up is a Bradford pear. We've ran several limbs. These gaskets here that keep things out. I wish they had a cover, an actual cover. I mean, for our little dudes that we got in there, the little guys, they've thrown rocks down here like 2 or 3 times. Fortunately, before I started up, I've checked and noticed that it was there. One other thing that I was disappointed on was actually over here. As you can see, this bolt and nut. And the nut's missing because the bolt here, as I was tightening it, and I made sure it wasn't misthreaded. It was tightening easy, but I was putting it on with a little Hitachi impact drill, and I barely tightened it on. And the thing snapped right off. I don't know, I'm sure they have replacement studs, but it's not really affected anything. I just went ahead and started using it. As you can see, I got one bolt there and nut, and then another one there. It seems to be holding it on just fine. It's secure, it's tight. By the way, I tightened the other two up the same way, and they never twisted off or anything. So definitely I'll know next time when putting something like this together, that's something that you don't want to do. It's up here. It's got pretty easy shoot for anything. I believe it's less than 3/8 of an inch, and down here can take up to 4 inches, and it grinds it up and into nothing. And so what we're going to be doing along our creek bed way over there, yard's a mess with toys and a pool, but way over there we have a bunch of stinging nettle, and I know that this stuff has a lot of use for it, but when you got little kiddos that are running around, that's the worst thing ever, especially when you can't take care of it. In the event that they get into it, there isn't a whole lot that I know how to do to get rid of the sting. So if you guys know any tips, tricks on that, give me a holler. Shout out, put it in the comments. It'd be great. So we're going to start taking care of some of these walnut branches, walnut tops, and cut a lot of it up for firewood, and pretty much anything that won't go for firewood is going to go for the chipper to put along the side of the creek and kill that stinging nettle out. It is now 6:20. No, I haven't gotten a whole lot done. Got that 6:30 sweat going on now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it a little drink of water. It's already pretty humid here. We're here in Missouri, and then I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna start splitting up some of this wood and getting it moved out of the way. Water tastes good this morning. Man, me and my mom, we made that look pretty easy. Or at least I hope. So easy that I might have to do it again. Wouldn't it just be easier to take that camera there and just replay the same footage? I can't do that. We know we got split wood here, so here we go. And I'm going to tell you a little trick. Alright, I still got a quarter of these, but one trick that I've learned over the few years of busting wood, I say few, probably been several, my dad can attest to that. One thing that I've learned is that if you put the bigger end up, that wood will split easier. I'm not saying it's going to be easy to split, but it will split easier. So the end that would have been closest to the ground needs to be up. Natural habit is to put that in on the bottom because, well, it's just easier to keep stable that way. But if you turn it up the other way and put the small end on the ground and the fat end up, you'll be able to split it a lot easier. Now I'm going to get it back to work and quit yapping. I still got lots and lots to go. A lot of people don't like to burn walnut, but it seasons out. It's pretty good firewood. Guys, it's now 6:45. Minor setback I got to run in. I had some cheap tires that I had gotten from Harbor Freight, and obviously wore that out. They've been on there for about a year and a half, so they work good for what they did. This other one's still holding up and doing good, but this one, as you can see, it's shot, so I got to go grab another tire. Alright, so I went back to the store. It has a timestamp. It's 9:55 right now. And what took so long is I went to the store, ended up having to wait because, you know, nobody wakes up or opens up until 8 o'clock. If I would have realized that, I wouldn't have went in so early. I could have just stayed here and cut more wood. But because it's quite a trip to town, we didn't waste the time. I say quite a trip. It's really only like 10 or 15 minutes. Little Isaac there. So anyways, got in there. The guy tried selling me some kind of randomness. I told him I didn't think it was gonna work, and he says, "Oh no, the smaller tires is definitely not gonna work on there," and this and that. Anyways, so I brought home what he was suggesting, and it was an absolute joke. I didn't take any footage of it. And I just took it, went back, took it back, and I bought these never flat tires, and so they haul 360 pounds. So we're gonna put them on and get back to work. I threw some of the smaller branches in there. There's this one. I wasn't too worried about it. Didn't want to get it stuck in the chipper. Didn't want to waste the chainsaw gas to cut it up any better. And for what we're needing it for, it doesn't really need to be ground up. I got some grass and stuff in here from the ground when I was scraping up the wood shavings, but not a big deal. So let's get this dump gate. There it is. Sorry, I'm trying to do all this one-handed. Pass the camera off here. That's what I've got. I'm going to dump several more loads in here. As you can see, I got stinging nettle and other weeds up here super high. So I'm going to dump some more loads in here and get that all said and done. So for now, I think we're going to go ahead and pause and continue this at a later date. It's about 12 o'clock. And it appears to be blowing in a storm. It's getting pretty cool, but I want to show you guys some other stuff. So we'll start back at this probably in the morning in the event that if it's not raining. So we'll wrap that up here in a second, and I'm going to go show you the garden. One more thing I wanted to show you before we get to the garden. So I just recently got a scythe. And I'm loving this thing, absolutely loving it. We get to go down through here, and I'll go through and cut the weeds down for the biggest portion of it. Eventually, you know, once those are all down, then we'll have better grass that grows up. And we just made a little box square baler. But as you can see, these are the paths. And it windrows it. That's one path. I'm not too worried about this stuff. This is probably going to end up mulch because it's a lot of thick weeds. But I've made a few paths down through here. While we're here, show you the mulberry trees. So the mulberry trees are looking pretty good. They taking off just fine. The other one down there, the third one, it's doing great. And then this one, we got lucky because this one back here, the first one, when they cut this down, they landed it, and I thought for sure we lost the tree. So fortunately, we didn't. It's got some brush I don't have to get taken out pretty quick. So that way this thing can start growing and thriving. Alright, so we've made it to the garden. We're in here. And I don't know if you guys can see them very well, but everywhere there's a little mound, that's a tomato plant. I've planted 39 tomato plants. We got our goji berry, it's growing pretty good. We'll walk through the garden here. As you can see, I'm going to have to take out some weeds. We've been putting Bradford pear mulch down in here. I just got to kill some of these weeds up because that's a tomato right there. There's another tomato. And here's our watermelon. Got quite a few little sprouts on it, and hopefully it brings us some pretty good watermelon this year. Alright, and over here, these are Arkansas Traveler tomatoes. This is what we originally went with. Okay, so out of everything, there's still some wood that needs to be busted. I'm going to start in on that tomorrow, maybe, depending on the rain. I keep on calling for rain, but not seeing any yet. So, and then we got all that, but then what I've really been working on is chips. Grinding up a bunch of stuff, and there's the finished deal. So I'm gonna go get this hauled off and get it back around there to where it's all taken care of, put it up for the night. Man, back in this little trailer with one hand, that is hard. Alright, made it back here. Let's get this dump gate out. Alright. Pull forward. Well guys, it's now 8 o'clock and we're calling it an evening. Finishing up the chores and hauling this chipper back to the garage. We're out here at the shed getting some chicken feed, and what we've been mixing is 2 scoops of corn with 1 scoop of game bird grower. Comes out looking like that. Alright, and kind of ducks are over there in the garden. They're just peacefully doing their thing. Looks like a few chickens didn't listen. Come on. Come on. The sheep are hungry and ready for some feed. It's a rooster there. Alright. Well, there's 9 of the light Brahmas. Let's give the sheep some feed. Got 1 of them still yet out. Well, 9 is out. Been feeding them some corn. Little Daisy, she's doing good. And the chickens will clean up their scrap. This is our newest. This is Buddy. He's got some hoof problems that we're gonna have to take care of. I got some copper sulfate coming in the mail. So. Well guys, that's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out. Helps us keep making these videos. And we'll see you next time.